Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another movie review. And this time, we are reviewing Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. So, as always, I am not a professional movie reviewer, just a man who enjoys a good time. And I had an okay time with this movie. Um, I ended up not liking it as much as I did when I was younger. I remember when I was younger, I used to like this movie a lot more than I did now, but now I didn't like it as much. I guess because you get older, there's some stuff you don't really like as much now that you're older, but I didn't like this one as much as I thought I would. For some reason, I remember this one being better than the original, but I don't. I honestly don't think it is. But without further ado, we're gonna get into it. And also right off the bat, let me know if you like my pajamas. But so we're gonna get into it. And for those of you who have seen these reviews before, you kind of already know how this works. But for those of you who haven't, pretty much I'm gonna be talking about what I liked and what I didn't like about the movie. But starting off with what I liked, because they did do some good stuff for the most part. A lot of the stuff that they did okay in the first movie, which I reviewed a little while ago, so if you haven't already, go check out that review. But some of the stuff they were able to bring back. The acting was decent for the most part. Lawrence Fishburne voices Silver Surfer this time around instead of well, oh, so they it was like a twofold sort of thing. So there was someone who was Silver Surfer's body double doing capturing all the movements and everything because Silver Surfer was CGI and everything, but Lawrence Fishburne provided the voice, and I do really like Lawrence Fishburne, but I forget exactly who did the body motions for Silver Surfer for this movie, and I do apologize, um, I do like for the most part that the acting was decent for the most part. Um, and I do like how Silver Surfer, for the most part, is somewhat accurate to the comics, where he's the Herald of Galactus, and Galactus is devourer of worlds. He's about to devour Earth, but Silver Surfer is convinced not to let Galactus devour the Earth. So he stopped there, and of course, Silver Surfer, her friend, ally to the Fantastic Four in the comics. So it makes sense for him to be included here. There was some jokes, stuff like that. Typical superhero movie stuff around this time, around the 2000s. It felt like a 2000s movie, and it would come back to haunt the movie a little bit later on, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so there's all that. Of course, Silver Surfer stops Galactus. They actually had the Gauchos to kill Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, but she's brought back to life. Silver Surfer heals her and then sacrifices himself to take out Galactus and stop him from devouring the Earth. So yeah, like I said, pretty traditional superhero movie stuff. And meanwhile, in like another plot thread going throughout the movie is Victor Von Doom is back, having survived what happened to him in the events of the first Fantastic Four movie, where he was like heated up and then rapidly cooled to where he was frozen, and so he's back alive and he's working with the heroes and everything, and the government at the behest and the dismay of the Fantastic Four. And it turns out, Doom swerved them, and he takes the Silver Surfer's cosmic surfboard for himself, and it turns out he was still evil the whole time. But yeah, so there's that. This is also Reed Richards and Sue Storm's wedding. It gets called off multiple times because of what's happening and everything, and then they open quite a few plot threads in the movie that I noticed. There's the Silver Surfer stuff, and how the Silver Surfer, whenever he passes by something in the Earth, it causes like anomalies, like crazy weather and stuff like that, and there's that. There's the whole wedding thing. There's Reed and Sue discussing the potential breakup of the Fantastic Four, or because they want to lead normal lives and they don't want to bring children into the world. With that going on, which is a pretty nice reference, because I believe Franklin and Valerie Richards were like canon in Marvel at this time, if I'm not mistaken. Um, if they weren't yet, this is some pretty decent foreshadowing. But I believe Franklin and Valerie, which is Reed and Sue's children, were in Marvel at this time. Um, but yeah, and then that's some decent foreshadowing, and maybe that's where they got the idea. But there's Doom back and being evil, stuff like that. So multiple stuff they opened up, but a lot, but they resolved it by the end. Um, so there's that stuff going on, and in terms of what I didn't really like about the movie, there was a few things. There was some stuff that was kind of to be expected, such as like the CGI and everything. This was 2000, so it wasn't great. To the movie's credit, though, some of the effects that they used for a lot of the characters and everything were better than the previous movie. So there were some upgrades, but other stuff was still kind of jank around this time. This is before CGI really hit like its apex. This was still kind of during the dark days, before CGI really became like better, and even still was never really perfect. But it was in every movie around this time because it was the new trend and stuff like that. So you got it in just about every movie. But yeah, it was there, and like I said, while the effects were better, there was still a little bit jank. But I think the thing that really disconnected me a lot from this movie was so much so much abandoning of character, so many like weird out of nowhere character changes. For example, now Reed is more. They try to make him a bit more of a playboy, like doesn't really care and everything. Even in like the first movie, Reed wasn't like that, and now they try to make him like almost like doesn't care and stuff. They still try to make him the nerd, but they also almost give him like playboy undertones in a way, which definitely betrays Reed's character. Like Reed in the comics is like a super nerd. He's like, of course, smartest man in the universe, but he's like a super nerd in the comics. And Sue's more like in the movie, she's a bit more like a bit selfish and everything, and some of it does get resolved a bit later, but yeah, it just really turned me off from it. Johnny and Ben, for the most part, remain the same. They did kind of change Johnny up a little bit to where he was a bit more like sweet in a way, but it does somewhat make sense, at least in the confines of this movie, and he does have those moments in the comics, so that wasn't really too jarring. But I feel like Ree and Sue, who I feel like it really dragged the movie down because they're two of like the main characters, and especially they're like big major characters because there's the threat of them having the wedding this time around in this movie, but also the characters' motivations is how this intergalactic threat is going on and how the Earth can be pretty much at stake. It could be pretty much wiped out by Galactus. Yet they're worried about the wedding, and Sue's mad at Reed because he's focused more on the imminent danger to the planet as opposed to the wedding. Why? The planet's in danger. I get it. You want your wedding and everything, but normally this is where Sue and Reed would be like, okay, we'll have to put the wedding on hold. We gotta deal with this threat. But no, she cares more about the wedding and everything. Like, dude, the planet's in danger. Like, so that really, really took me out of it. I really wasn't a fan of that. And then also the design for Galactus. I wish they just kept it how it was in the comics. They tried to make it look more like, I guess, like a wormhole for Galactus. It's more like a tornado that sucks everything up, and they gave him like arms and everything. But I wish they just kept it the same, where he looked like an actual being. And I feel like that would have been better. We do kind of see the shadow of it a little bit, but I wish they kept that the same. I feel like it probably would have worked out a little bit better in the movie. Although, like I said, with the CG at the time, and there's a chance that it might have been a little bit weird too to be pulled off. So, but yeah, that I feel like that kind of took me out of it. But yeah. So that is this movie, and that is this review. Sorry to like kind of bum you guys out a little bit, but I for some reason I remember liking this a lot more when I was younger, and And like I said, there's a lot of stuff I liked a lot more when I was younger, but this was one of them. But looking back on it, I don't like it as much as the first one. It's actually kind of disappointing. I'm a bit disappointed in it, and some of the ideas that are there are Silver Surfer going against Galactus, which he does in the comics, and becoming an ally to the Fantastic Four like he does in the comics. That is there, but I feel like the execution just feels off when it comes to that. But then again, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on the movie. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video and this review, please do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos. You can see it as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below. Am I being too harsh on the movie? Am I not being harsh enough on the movie? How do you guys feel about not just the movie but my review? Do you agree with my sentiments? Do you disagree with my sentiments? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Peace.